Quarry concerns. The big question still looming for the city of Carmel following unprecedented flooding.
Cases upon cases of water, just some of the stuff here you can pick up at the Anderson distribution site. We'll tell you what other items are available for people impacted from the flood.
And a pleasant weather day across central Indiana. That will change a little bit. We're going to time out the return of muggy air and thunderstorms that you see to the west of us.
Questions about the quarry in Carmel this afternoon following the recent massive flooding event that we've just seen. Those concerns range from raw sewage to diverting the White River itself. Good afternoon, I'm Felicia Lawrence.
I'm Anne Marie in for Dustin, who's off this afternoon. There is also another big issue in that area in Carmel, the Hazeldale Parkway Bridge. And right now, city officials are calling it a total loss following its collapse over the weekend.
Our Callie Lichter spoke to officials about their next steps.
The city of Carmel is dealing with something officials say is unprecedented.
If the event occurs where the Blue Woods Creek becomes the main channel of the White River, and then all White River water will then be diverting to the quarry.
Historic flooding potentially creating a new path for the White River.
We're actively out there taking action to slow the process as best as we can. We probably can't beat Mother Nature, but we can put up a good fight.
City engineer Bradley Peace says they're already fighting erosion that could connect the two channels, diverting the White River into a nearby quarry. He says they're encouraged by what they've seen after mere hours of bank stabilization efforts. But if those channels do connect, there could be another major consequence. It could take out what's left of the Hazeldale Parkway Bridge, already considered a total loss.
Unfortunately, it's not like we can jump in and get going right now because we're still kind of in the emergency stage. As it's actively ongoing, and we have to wait for the water to recede anyway before we can really get in.
While there's worry about people driving around the barricades here on land, there's concern because you can't put barricades on the water.
Yeah, well, and it's quite the drop. That thing is 100 feet. I mean, it's filling up as we speak.
With the bridge closed, Hamilton County Commissioner Christine Altman fears people could try to get into the roaring waters below. She says the water's unpredictable and could send someone into the quarry.
It's just like a dam that has breached. The turbulence will take you under. It doesn't matter what protective device you have, you will not probably survive that.
Both Peace and Altman ask residents to stay away and remain patient as they try to expedite the bridge construction and look into something temporary. Callie Lichter, 13 News.
And if you or someone you know is in need of drinking water following this unprecedented flooding, listen up, because Academy Sports and Outdoors is giving away free bottles of water while supplies last. You can either come to the store, which is located at 1960 East Greyhound Pass, this is in Carmel, or show up to the tent outside the store. Staff there will be able to help you. So we called a short time ago and there are still bottles of water left.
Now to another community hit hard from the flooding. This is up in Anderson, Delaware County. That community now coming up to help their neighbors clean up. Ella Rhodes joins us now from Madison County's official distribution site. And Ella, busy day there. How many people have come by?
205 families, Anne-Marie, came to this distribution site here. This is just some of the cases of water. You can see there was a whole truckload that actually just came in from Plainfield. Now, this distribution site is at Turnaway No Longer off of 38th Street in Anderson. I want you, though, to take a look at that video on your screen because that will show you some of the items people were picking up all day long. Fans, brooms, mops, bleach, extension cords, hygiene kits, diapers, non-perishable food, obviously the cases of bottled water we showed you. The list truly goes on. Now, the the Anderson Township Trustee's Office dropped around $7,000 worth of supplies off this morning, and cars just drove up and volunteers brought them what they needed. We spoke with Anna Garcia, who picked up items earlier. She says this helps make a tremendous difference, even more so now that she lost her job at Ollie's because it flooded.
I mean, what resources do we actually have and how many people actually go if they need it? So I follow the events in Anderson, so I was like, hey, we need some cleaning stuff. Definitely need bottled water, so I just brought myself up here to get it.
Turnaway no longer encourages people from any county impacted from the flooding to stop by their distribution site. And I want to show you something else as well. So the distribution just wrapped up here a little less than an hour ago or so, and this is where all the cars came through, right? And during the flooding, all of this was absolutely covered in water, like much of Anderson. But this is the loading dock here at this site, and the loading dock was actually full of water. The water went up right to before where the trucks would load all of their stuff off. So this place got really, really lucky that they didn't get flooded. They actually had to have a company for 3 days pump water just out of this part of the loading dock, but they didn't have any internal flooding damage. And ahead at 5:30, we'll tell you about the woman who organized this distribution site and just how impactful it has been here in Anderson.
All right, Ella, thanks so much. Great job. We'll check back later. So great to see the helpers come and do their thing.
Yeah, I mean, thank you, Ella. As we've seen, this situation is still unfolding as we speak, and people need help now, immediately, right now. So
Right.
a lot of community groups coming together to do just that.
And then further downstream in Owen County, we do have some new information about that tonight, and our meteorologist Sean Ash is here with those details.
Yeah, and it's actually in a good way too, because yesterday at this time the forecast crest was for about 21.5 feet, and since that time the forecast has been shaved down. So a little bit of good news. It wasn't going to be major flooding there, but it wasn't going to be far from it either. I want to show you the latest forecast for, again, Spencer and Owen County. Currently at 18.86 feet, 20.4 is the crest between about 2 and 8 p.m. tomorrow. So these are the river flood warnings that are ongoing. We're going to specifically get into Owen County and get into Spencer. What I can tell you, based on the latest, this is the flood inundation map in this. Where you see blue is where the water will get to. On the west side, western end of Cooper Street there in southern Spencer. And then it's also going to get into Fifth Avenue and Hayden Road. The Owen Sports Complex here, just to the east of the football field. This will get water by this time tomorrow before it starts to recede there. So just a little latest information. Otherwise, this is the most comfortable day we've had in about 2 weeks. Dew points this morning and even this afternoon dropped into the 50s and lower 60s, and you're definitely feeling that pleasant change. A warm afternoon, 82 in Indy, 78 in Kokomo, 77 Richmond. These numbers are creeping up since this morning, I'll say that. And by this time tomorrow, we're going to be back in the air you can wear in that transition. Late tonight and into tomorrow, will give us some of these scattered thunderstorms. This complex, by the way, looks like it's going to go through St. Louis. It might impact southwest Indiana late tonight. I have more on that ahead in the 7-day forecast.
All right, Sean, thank you. And Governor Braun is continuing to make good on his promise to make local governments whole following the gas tax holiday we've been seeing.
Braun's promise was to provide Hoosiers historic relief at the pump without taking funding away from local communities. Well, today, the State Board of Finance stepped in line, unanimously approving more than $130 million in reimbursements, and this would be for the month of June. That money now is going to be sent out to Indiana cities, counties, and towns next week, and the approval comes today as many counties right now have a new problem. They're dealing with historic flooding. And today the governor said, quote, "I made a commitment that we would provide gas tax relief to Hoosiers without leaving our local communities to foot the bill. And I'm grateful to the Board of Finance for their partnership to once again helping us keep that promise." More than $1.1 million is now headed to 16 nonprofits all across the state, and it's coming from the Kicking the Stigma Action Grant Program.
So the Earthsays created the grant program as part of Kicking the Stigma, which is an initiative they launched 5 years ago, and it's all to raise awareness about mental health. Since then, the family has awarded a total of $8.3 million in action grants. This year, there were 2 different grants awarded, the Community Action Grant and the Legacy Action Grant. So to learn more about the difference and see a list of all the recipients, just head to our website, WTHR.com.